Have you got a story to share? A moment, an experience, something that happened that you believe that can help someone else? Well, my name's Jay from Journey of a Whitefeather, and I run a show live on Spotify and YouTube called A Chat with Jay. A chat with normal everyday people who have experienced heartache, joy, and love in their life, and they want to share it with you because they believe that their experiences can help someone out there. Become a guest, remove your mask, and tell your story, and always be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
G'day, guys. I went outside, fed the kangaroos, fed the koalas, and I did a Steve Irwin impersonation, as I usually do. Grab the snake and go, look at this big snake, mate. Oh, mate. Oh, hey, look at this one. Go and hug a tree, and there he goes. Steve Irwin impersonations. We're back with Beck, but I want to quickly do a dedication on this day. Everyone knows I was a professional wrestler, Australian champion, professional wrestler in Sydney, but I worked in Melbourne a fair bit, and there was a mega fan by the name of Sue Shooter. She was the ultimate wrestling fan. She'd come to the shows, sit in the front row, and if you're a good guy, she'd go, yeah, go on. And if you're a bad guy, she'd give it to you regardless. And she gave us a lot of memories, and she's passed today. I'm going to find out some more details when I get off this call, but I just want to do a big shout out to her and her family. And I know she'll be upstairs with a few other good friends of mine, which I'm looking at right now. So that, they'll be at the gates for you, waiting for you and go, oh, here she comes. And she, I remember that. She'll be up there absolutely giving them hell. So from myself, my tag team partners in the industry and friends, we wish you rest in peace. So after all that, which is a bit of it is an up because, she was a lovely lady. We went on and we're talking about yourself and an amazing story. Amazing story. And thank you so much for being so honest. I told you to go and watch The Shift. Now, The Shift, ladies and gentlemen, is by Wayne Dyer. I've watched it at least 75 times, and I've got something out of it every time because I am rising every time. And I'm going to say, Beck will ring me in 6 months and go, I watched The Shift for about 3 times, right? And the 4th time I've gone, I saw that. Why? Because the message, and this is what we're talking about, synchronicities and messages as well, which I get from these things, come to you when you're ready. So what do you think of The Shift for? Hang on, that sounded like shit. Shift first, baby life.
It was so funny because you only told me about it yesterday, and I'm like, I'll just have a little peruse. And then I was like an hour and a bit in, and then it was getting late, and I thought I've got to go to bed, but I really wanted to watch it. Like you said, I'm probably going to have to watch it a few times, but immediately, this is the calmest dude I've ever seen. It was like I love the fact that in the eye of the storm with the couple that are. You got the couple fighting, and you got the mum with the kids, and you've got this dude who really wants to, be successful, and he wanted the movie, and he's just this calmness and peace the whole way through it. I kind of thought, that's the guy you want to be. So that was my biggest takeaway because I think I'm so drawn to the peace and calmness in people now, and I just love that. Yeah. I particularly love how he was dealing with the mum about not interrupting. You know how the kids were
the law of non-interference.
Yeah, that was the one. And
the law of non-interference. Yes.
Yeah, and I really love that because like the kids were going nuts, and it's we've always got this. Oh, this has got to happen now. This has got to happen now. And when he said that, she kind of just sat back and let them just do what they needed to do and come back when they were ready.
Can you relate something to that? Can you relate to your life with that? Because I always, everything we talk about, messages, synchronicities, and everything that I do, I actually, especially now that I remove the mask and take the mirror, and I'll tell you a story in a minute, which really got me. But I looked into the mirror every day. So is there anything you can relate to your life that you've sort of gone, interesting, that makes me think, how can I be better? Or did something happen that I can be better, or something happened in my life which is very similar?
Oh, well, I always think that I can be better.
Mm.
Um, but I don't know. It's one of those things that I know you've asked me the question, and then I'm just going to be like, I'm going to go away and I'm going to think, oh, I really wish that I'd like said that.
Not at all, because you're supposed to be where you're meant to be.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely know there's been a lot of synchronicities in my life. Look, I mean, just a big one for me this year has been meeting someone last
Awesome.
year.
Awesome.
And you know, I allowed myself time to heal and time to be on my own. And then the beginning of last year, and this is really weird how this unfolded, but I had a recliner lounge, which was a single person's lounge. And I said to my mum, getting rid of it because it basically is putting out to the universe that I do not want anyone in my life. I'm not having it.
And there's a
And
message. There you go. You said you had nothing to talk about.
absolutely.
There you go. See, I'm right. I'll
Yeah.
take that. I'll claim that one.
I sold it. I sold the lounge and I got a new one, which is just a welcoming, we're going to share this together lounge. And then off the back of that, on the 28th of June, I had this dream. And it was the most vivid dream I had. And I woke up in the morning and I messaged my friend because I thought I've got to put it in a message in case it comes true. I said, I'm gonna meet this guy who plays the guitar and he sings. Um, a week later, he reached out to me. A week
Wow.
after that, we caught up, and I didn't tell him straight away that I had manifested uh, this
Hey,
person to come into
let's
my
be
life.
honest. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Some people still think spirituality is bloody witchy poo, bloody, freaky. Oh my God, I'm going to burn you at the stake type stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt there. Go for it.
No, but it was just this message to me that I was ready to find someone and that this vision would be this person. And, you know, it's been 6 or 7 months now that we've been together, and it's been by far the healthiest relationship I've ever had because I got myself to a stage where I allowed that kind of love into my life where um, in the past, I haven't been kind to myself about what I deserve,
Yep.
and that I deserve that kindness and that love. So,
Yep.
yeah, huge message, but also some manifesting last year and actually making it happen, opening it up, opening
You
getting
trusted
rid of.
yourself, didn't you? You're in a safe
Yeah,
space here. And now look, the big synchronicity from that, I get, Beck, is you saw that chair and you made the connection. Like as I said to you,
Mm.
I knew you were going to come with something. I knew that, and you had that connection. I mean, that's what Wayne Dyer's videos are all about, especially the shift when you make that, you have that awareness and you have that connection in life. And this is what we teach people because we're there as the motivators, we're there as the backbone to show them that this is what can be done.
Yeah, absolutely. And you manifest it, you say it out loud, and then you make it happen in the smallest of ways. Just by tuning into that and making that decision, I feel like I was opening the opportunity up that I wasn't before. I was very closed off to it. So
Very interesting. The other one I wanted to ask you, I might as well go on to I ask a few people saying that you've been in it. The secret. Now, were you heavy to what was happening back in about 1996 when they brought the secret out? And everyone thought it was the lotto. Okay, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be. It fueled so many people's egos. Oh, I mean, me myself, I had no idea what I was looking for. But I thought I knew, but I didn't have a fucking clue. Let's be honest. I had this great dream, but I was still living in this old self. What do you reckon? Did you ever get involved in that or see it at all or understand it? Did you have any recollection of it was about 90 and everyone was going, oh, I'm going to meditate because I'm going to make a lot of money. You can see the ego. I go back on, I've gone, oh my God, that was so ego driven. And I was right in the middle of it.
in 1996, I was balls deep in partying, if I'm honest. I was in
No
Sydney
problem.
and I was in the height of um yeah, drugs and alcohol. There was the only secret for me was that I was I was flittering away my life, and that was probably not even a secret to
Oh,
other people. But yeah, I
it's,
didn't believe or see any of that back then. I was just so I was way into it to the point where like there were days when I was getting up and putting speed in my orange juice to get to work. You know what I mean? Like I
wow.
was really, yeah,
I was going to
when I
say to you, I
say
was going
caught
to say
up.
to you with that one, and I think we can make a very big comparison there because everyone's looking for that hit. And I mean,
Yeah.
the ego, it's all about we were living in the ego for so long because of, we've got this consumer. And look, consumerism is not a problem. It's how anything's great. It's how it's managed, as far as
Mm.
I'm concerned. So we had that, and I was trying to find something to make myself feel better. So maybe that was my drug. I've gone, that's my way
Yeah.
out. And you're going, right, that's my way out.
Yeah. I was
Now,
turning to pills and drugs and alcohol. Yeah, pretty much.
I was just selling myself. I was just selling myself like a bloody prostitute. Let's be honest. Okay, I'll tell it. I mean, and you don't know because you're that hurt when I use
Yeah.
that. When I use that, and but then I guess 1996. I think my first time I've watched Cocktail, and I find Cocktail the most spiritual
Yeah.
movie I can. I've watched it like probably 3,500, 4,000 times,
Yeah.
right?
With
Because it's
Tom
such.
Cruise, that one, Cocktail with Tom Cruise.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's such a spiritual movie for me, and I've actually written a piece on it on what all the
Yeah.
lessons. I think it was about 75 lessons I got out of it. I'll publish.
Wow.
I'll publish. I'll send it over. I'm putting it on letterheads and all that kind of stuff. So, um, but yeah, I was just and that's why I talked about synchronicities and messages and what. And it's funny that when we do talk about these things, and then you'll find it when you do this, when you said about the law of interference. So did you understand that before you saw that thing, and all these spiritual teachings are coming forth for you now, or what do you think?
Oh, look, I didn't really. It was something that I wouldn't think about, but I love the fact that they've honed in on her as a mother and how mothers work and not being a mother myself, I guess it was didn't relate to it straight away, but I kind of loved how she um I don't know. I guess I just loved her reaction to it and then how she dealt with it because you
Yep.
could just go, oh, like, piss off, mate. I'll deal with it how I want. Like the kids need to eat right now. But it was like this trigger in her, like this little mindset change in her that was like, you know what? Everything doesn't have to be done when you feel like it has to be done.
Oh, mate, I struggle with that. I have to say that, Beck, I struggle with that. Oh my God, because I've
Yeah.
got so much stuff to do. But I do.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, you can say you can actually say I can see it with what you absolutely love what you do, and that's why I reached
Mm.
out to you. I mean, you gave me a beautiful bio on your website, and I'm very appreciative of that to reach out. And here we are, we're doing our first chat, and this could be your first video on your YouTube. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Um, hint, hint. You start. Beck starting a sleep fearlessly YouTube site now, so get on it.
Yeah.
So that's what. But wanted to ask you going forward. You're really focused. I'm going to see all your videos. You're really sending that positive message out. What's your focus? I mean, have you got any future? Have you got a future? I will say dreams for the use of a word.
Mm.
Do you have a plan of where you'd like to go? Is it about, or you just basically going with the flow each day and going, this is what I have to do, and just trying to find your way with everything? Is that how you're doing it?
Well, my 5-year goal was always to be happy, but I do want my
I think you've already,
plan in.
think you've already done that.
Yeah, it's always happiness first, and then I think the kind of success in what you want to do comes after that, or comes with that. But
Yep.
I want to continue on. I love doing the sleepwear. I love doing the counselling, and I'm just about to
Where can they find you? Where can they find you, Beck? Where
all
can
on
they?
the website. So on my Sleep Fearlessly website, I have my link to holistic counseling. I have all of my sleepwear. I have my blog that I've started as well about
Awesome.
which also now includes your story and somebody else from TikTok, and I'm hoping to build on that. So if anyone's watching this and they want to share their story, then I would love you to be a part of it. But
Absolutely.
I'm looking at child psychology next, because what I really want to do now, I'm doing the respite foster care, is help those kids that are transitioning in those teenage years to adulthood. Because I think if I'd had that early intervention to understand
Wow, that's
all those
fantastic.
crazy thoughts going in my head and
Awesome.
somebody helped me with that, then life could have been different for
Okay,
me.
here's a question for you, because as I said, I'm right into the education, politics, and all those kind of things. What's happening in the world? How do you see it? So you basically have seen the decline. I'm going to go straight up and say a decline in the preservation of innocence within children in a lot of ways. That's the way I'll put it, because they basically go to school, go do all the work which is irrelevant, hint, hint, clickbait, and you're trying to actually find themselves and give them those boundaries and those lessons that have been taken away because of, I mean, people are working a lot because they've got to put food on the table, cost of living's up, put the kid in childcare. That's not family. All right. There's an element there. It's not getting political about who's bloody getting the money and all this other bullshit. If the father wants to stay, none of this fucking crap. At the end of the day, it's all about the kids and developing, as you said. Am I not wrong?
Yeah, no, you're right. And I think add to that gaming, add to
Yep.
that,
Do you
you
think
know,
okay? Because you've got now I don't consider myself a gamer, but and I say, look, I'll go straight out. I don't have a problem with kids having a little play, but it comes
yeah,
down to balance. But where do you think the mix?
absolutely.
Where do you think we are missing? Now I could say being involved in sport, it's too bloody expensive, and number two, parents are working so much and being slave to the grind. Skid Row, hint hint, 80s rock star. They are losing themselves,
Yeah.
and they don't go, oh shit, this childbearing thing is fucking hard, eh? I mean, I've got to have time for myself, and they can't scratch themselves. You know what I mean? Does that
Yeah.
resonate with you at all?
Yeah. Oh, look, I think we're missing human connection. We're missing it as adults. You walk through the city, everyone's got their head in their phones. You sit on a bus, a tram. Kids communicate with their friends by gaming. Everything is done electronically. Like we're just I worry about that generation, how they're going to cope coming into adulthood.
Yep.
Um,
Because
yeah, I really do. Yeah,
I use, obviously I do use my phone a fair bit. I'm not going to lie,
so do
but
I.
but the amount of stuff I've learned, I mean, over since the pokeroo, which is the what, because I'll get bloody shadow banned. Hint hint. Especially Victoria, we had that chat. How did you cope? I don't know. I'm stronger than what they pushed on us. Um, but I use my phone for the benefit of myself and the amount of stuff I'm learning. And there is a balance. Don't get me wrong. It has to
Yeah,
be a balance. But how much are we learning with what we're doing? I'm just a sponge. You look like a sponge as well. You're just a sponge to so much you want to get out of life. Would that be fair to say? So
yeah.
where do you think the what where do you think it should change? And you're telling me about child psychology. Where do you think it should change? Do you think you can't take away the iPads? What can you?
No,
So my thing is, if you're going up against a surf, you got to go with it. So how do you go with it and incorporate to get better?
oh, that's a big question, isn't it? I
Well,
look, I think for me, like focusing around, being given that my focus is probably around dealing with foster kids mainly. So you're kind of adding not just all the electronics on top of that, but you're also adding the trauma of being taken out of your home and everything as well. So
yep.
for me, it's about for me, it's about giving them the self-love and the self-care and actually helping them to love themselves
That's fantastic. Yeah,
before they come into adulthood, because so many of them would be feeling abandoned and unworthy. And so it's about validating their behavior and not validating their behavior, but validating why they're feeling like they're feeling, and actually allowing them to process that before they actually go out into the world. And I think if you've got the balance, you've got the love, you've got the right parenting, because you're right, you can't take these things away, but it's about them not having to feel like they have to hide behind a game in order to connect with people. And it's how we do that.
I think, look, all this freaking bullshit, these regulations and all this freaking red tape crap that and they justify their bullshit, especially what shits me. And it really shits me when they go to kindergarten. Oh, the educator has to do. Fuck's sake, mate. Can't they be kids?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with trying to find out, oh, they're developed in this way. And I read a report on a fucking 4-year-old, right?
Yeah.
And I've just gone, okay, there's merit. There's merit to certain, because you got to find out. But yeah, I'm keeping I'm sort of, I can't say what's going on afterwards because I'm not allowed yet. Got to wait for that pipe to explode. Anyway, but I'm sitting there, why can't they be kids?
Yeah.
And enjoy. Like I teach phys ed, and the first thing you do, you could teach them all you bloody well want. Let them bloody play, mate.
Yeah.
I get the kids to go, right, go get a ball, go throw it. You know why? Number one, they don't get enough practice. Number two, they're sitting in front of a computer. Number three, the parents aren't home. Number four, they don't practice enough.
Yeah.
They don't have the trust. Go shoot some baskets. Let's change the mood. Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. And I love that when my little fella comes to stay with me, there's no electronics here. We're interacting. So we're up in the morning and we're walking the dog, and then we're out with the ball, or we're at the park, or we're picking strawberries. We're actually physically, to the point where I'm sure he's exhausted when he goes home on the weekend, but it's all interactive stuff. It's all we stop and watch a movie, but we'll watch a movie together. But it's all about keeping him active, because I think that is so, like, for me, that somebody that gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning, goes to the gym, I know mentally what that does to me. And I see mentally what that does to him when we get up in the morning, he has a good breakfast, and then we go for a walk. I just see how his mood is for the rest of the morning.
Yeah, as I said, movement is health, as far as I'm concerned. With I get up every morning, get up and get on the cross trainer or the treadmill, and then I do my yoga for at least 20 minutes, half an hour. I do me put, and then depending on what, I've got a different routine with regards to eating and stuff, but it's a case of, especially being a cancer, I love routine. But it's a case of just having that understanding that movement is life. If you're sitting on your ass, I mean, look, you need to get 10,000 steps regularly, at least 8 to 10,000 steps minimum, right? Here's one for you. The old cricketer, Dennis Lilly. I always remember this story. He used to play cricket, obviously do test bowling, and used to bowl all day. Then he used to go for a 3K run afterwards. Now, why? Mental, flush. Yeah. That's all he did.
Yeah.
It might have hurt him, but he just went for a 3K run. I'd love to interview him actually to see why he did. I know why he did. I just want the proof. I just want them.
Yeah. I just want to hear it from him.
Yeah, but that resonates with you, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I'm one of those people that if I've gone to a meeting or I've come home from work, the first thing I do is I grab the dog and I go for a walk to clear my head, to separate myself from work, and just to get my mind right, take my shoes off, I ground. I love it. Like, I'm just...
You're really in touch, which is fantastic. I think it's a very big thing that you've done, coming from where you are and being very honest. And again, thank you so much for being so honest on the podcast here. You've been very honest with what you're doing. And do you want to tell us now? We're talking about future. You said you want to do child psychology. What about your personal business now? Is there going to be some meditations? Is there going to be some? Am I hinting? Read between the lines, hint. I don't just say things, apparently. Some people say that you could have a YouTube channel with your own meditations. Then you're going to tell me in 6 months, oh, I've got Sleep Fearlessly meditations, and it was first here on Chat with Jay.
Hmm. Oh, look, I would love that. I actually work full time, besides doing all of that as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
But I do, with the holistic counselling, I certainly bring into it breath work.
Yeah,
That's the
breath work.
first thing I do with people is actually just to calm them down and ground them a little bit before they start
Do you want to
pouring
give
that
us
heart.
do you want to give us an example of what you use for? Because I use the 2-4 method breath work that I've actually incorporated now. That what I do.
Yeah.
What do you use if you don't mind me?
Look, if it's the first time, I'll go into the box breathing.
Yep. Can you explain that to our listeners?
Yeah, so box breathing, and it's so simple, and the reason people love it is because it's so easy to remember, which is, 4 counts of breathing in and then holding for 4, and then 4 counts of breathing out through your mouth and then holding your breath for 4, and just doing that. So it's effectively a box that you're doing it,
Yep.
but it's just one of those things that is quick and easy. I've even done it before. I've had to present because you can do it in the bathroom. But there's so many different ones depending on kind of where you want to get someone and how anxious they are when they come to see you.
Yep.
I use meditation to sleep and have done for the last 5 years, on Insight Timer. I can't even tell you the last time I slept without hearing Kenneth is the one I use the most. It's about an hour and 40 minutes, but I just that help an anxious mind. I need it because I still have functioning anxiety, even though I don't drink anymore. I still need something to help me switch off at night, even with all the exercise and the 3 dog walks a day.
Yep.
The mind's still going. What
That's fair enough.
about you?
Well, for me, what I do, I play guitar and all that stuff. But I get myself because I got a lot of other little things on the side going. It's just like got these little side projects that are, they like the Robin Hood effect's the one that's really got me. I'll be honest I can be perfectly honest with you. I only really came into the motivational coaching mindset 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm still at that point. I was still in that victim mode when my mate said to me, "You still," and the victim mode's fine, but if you're aware of it, you could use it to your betterment. And as soon as I've gone straight to motivational coach, wrote this 30-page book, which you'll read, back and forth from America in 30 hours. Right, I've just gone bang. And then things have just changed and your energy's just changed. And yeah, it's just really nicely to connect with different people. And I've got a few things on the side. And, you know, we are leaders in the world. I think we are developing the Justice League of a world, or however we want to put it. I think we're all connected for a reason. And yeah, I think I think the main thing is I let things flow. I understand myself where I am. I step back. I am aware when I do a little bit more than what I do. I step back on that. But at the end of the day, I have to do what I got to do. I know myself where one thing when I wasn't myself for 45 years, my only comment was I've just got to do what I've got to do. Now I do that. And now I've removed the mask and write my story, and everything is starting to flow. And the thing is, you don't force. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So tell us about where they can find you, Beck, and just give us another little plug for yourself. Holistic counselor, all round great person.
Sleepwear, you can find it all on the website. I'm on Instagram as well, so it's all under Sleep Fearlessly. I'm also on TikTok and I'm on Facebook. So love you to buy the pajamas for yourself or buy them for someone you love that might need a boost.
Are they long ones, short ones? What have you got
all
there?
different. So this is like long top and long pants. There's 90s. There's PJ sets like crop tops and like I said, all organic cotton, and it's the messaging. That's the important thing, is actually looking in the mirror and seeing that message and believing it and taking that extra moment to not just read the message, but to actually say it to yourself out loud, because there's so much power in saying, I am fearless, I'm enough, I'm free.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the purpose behind the pajamas.
Fantastic. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a chat with Jay, with the lovely Beck from South Australia. And again, thank you so much for your honesty. We had been a great chat because you've learned now. She's going to go and watch the shift, and then she's going to message me and go, "What a good show that was." And she goes, "I wish I'd said that. I wish I'd said that because we're going to get her back. If she wants to come back on anytime, just give us a call."
Yeah.
Guys, this has been a chat with Jay. If you want to come on the show and share your story, remove your mask, write your story, please send me an email, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, and everywhere else you can do. Just type in hashtag Journey of a Whitefeather, and you'll be able to find me anywhere you like. Send me a message and we'll get you on, and you can be the teacher and you can teach your lessons to the world because everyone needs to hear it. You can save one person. You've done your job in this world. As I met Bret the Hitman Hart, professional wrestler, WWE Hall of Famer. I met him at his bar for my 50th. Everyone reckons I manifested that because I missed him in April, and then I went there. I'm going to get him, and I did. So 2 days after my birthday. But I always quote him at the end. He always says, "Be the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be." Thank you very much, Beck. We'll talk to you soon. This has been a chat with Jay. We look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care.
Thanks so much, Jay.